Oh, hey!
Oh, nothing was going on. Just another day here.
Yeah.
In the grandest studio of them all, Freaky Nanner Studios.
Freaky Nanner Studios. Ooh.
And this is the Freaky Nanner Show.
Oh, yeah. La, 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 la. Oh, yeah.
And as always, we'll start out with, this isn't a real sponsor, actually. Did my mother pick up whiskey and she got the wrong one, even though I explained it to her. Plain old Evan Williams.
Ooh, hi, my name's juicy. Evan Williams.
I just have to drink it so I don't have it in my house anymore.
I feel like if you drink it, eventually you'll talk like cork. That. Hi.
You can smell the sweetness, the over-sweetness.
My name is Evan Williams. Yeah, it smells sweeter than Jack Daniels even.
Like, I know how to make this. We'll just put a fucking boatload of corn in it and call it a day.
We just want young, dumb college kids that don't know what flavor is to drink this.
Yeah, I could have got the bottled and bond version, which is a bigger bottle, for pretty much the same exact price.
We're just going to sell this at liquor stores by colleges.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have that
Kiki, cuckoo, mama.
And Freaky can't drink today.
No, I have to take a sleep apnea test tonight. So that means that I can't have any alcohol. It'll be the first time in months that I haven't drank before I've gone to bed. So that's going to be interesting, especially because they take these thingies and they wrap them around you like this. Then they shove this fucking tubes up your nose and you got to tape them there to go to sleep with it. And you got to try to relax. And I'm not really good at that, especially without alcohol. So we'll see.
And I can't sleep if I hear a door open that wakes me up, or if I hear a footstep, or a refrigerator opening.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone touching me with anything. If it wasn't already there, everything that moves wakes me up.
I know. It's made it really hard for perverted uncles over the years to try to take advantage of you.
It's never happened. There's a reason for that, because no Peter's getting close to this one, Mom. Pop is sleeping.
No perverted uncles or anything are getting over to him.
No.
So you know what? Gilbert Gottfried died!
Yeah, he died recently. I don't know. We may have even talked about it. We can't remember for sure if we talked about it or not. But either way, all these people are dying. All the best comedians in the world. Gilbert Gottfried was a gem, even though he wasn't like necessarily a typical joke writer. He more took like old jokes and turned them into a Gilbert Gottfried joke. And his premises were all really goofy. And it would just be some drag-on thing just so he could say something like, and I fucking came in his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
USA up all night.
I'm pretty sure it was an inside job. I'm pretty sure he was...
he was in that grandpa age that we were talking about.
Yeah, the grandpa ninjas got him. Mm-hmm. And it didn't help that he made everybody mad from the 9/11 jokes. I thought they were funny, but I feel like maybe Pete Davidson had something to do on the hit. Like... Pete Davidson.
Even though Pete Davidson was like 3 at the time.
Yeah, Pete Davidson, this has been a working, for over years he's been working with the government.
And the Grandpa Ninja Society of America.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Well, speaking of that, Pete Davidson is really killing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen he's in another movie coming out.
Well, yeah.
Maybe a show.
He just dipped his Peter in Kardashian, and then... That's all you need to do.
Mm-hmm. And she's the least one, I think. She looks semi-normal, except for her ass, obviously, and her fake boobs. But the other ones are already starting to get really creepy. Even Kendall Jenner, she's the younger one, and she looks creepy.
I just got my own joke when he stuck his Peter in her. Peter, get it?
Peter.
Pete Davidson, Peter.
Peter.
I do wonder, we've never asked a woman's opinion as to exactly what makes a Peter big for them.
Mm-hmm.
How many inches does it have to be?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe a lot of women have had 5-inch Peters, so they get a 7-inch Peter and they're like, damn, that's fucking gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
When really that's slightly above normal.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
Yeah, and then I always wonder too, like, if women are like, I only date guys with big Peters, does that mean that they have a loose vagina?
Wide vagina?
Like, that's, in my mind, I'm just like, is, like, something wrong down there? Like,
or maybe they just like a little bit more pain down there.
Yeah.
And the deeper you go, you hit the cervix, and it's like pounding the cervix, and then you have all this.
I just like my eggs scrambled.
You gotta go pee pee.
I just like my ovaries scrambled.
I don't want to get pregnant. I want you to beat up my fallopian tubes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a big story going on right now. That the Supreme Court's possibly looking into reversing Roe v. Wade.
What's that?
That's the abortion law that gives you the right to choose. So they're trying to overturn that so that women can't make the choice of whether they want an abortion or not.
Sounds not good.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said I'm pro-choice. I don't care. You should be able to make your own choice, but I'm pro-life. If I had a kid, it's going to be born if I have anything to do with him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
But there are circumstances.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't believe in with the Asians where they're like, oh, I see a vagina come out, stab it in the head. Oh, vagina coming out, hurry, stab it in the head.
Or you got, like, I think it's African countries that the women become of age, they put like a device into their vaginas that cuts a penis if it goes in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, but yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because what if one of them's like really vengeful and they're like not getting raped and they're just like, Umbaku, you can come and make love to me. Umbaku. And he's like, oh, I've been waiting for this day for my whole life. Ah! She's like, that is what you get for not giving me what I want.
You told my dad you only give him 21 cows. I wanted now 47.
Yeah, something like that. In Vietnam, they used to take the Vietnamese girls, they'd take blades and put them up their GG, and then the guys would go put it up in there and they'd split it like a banana. And then they'd go, ah! Ah! And then the blood would come out, and they'd be like, ah! And it's just like at, I think that's where they got the idea from at like Hibachi Grill. When you look over by the fruit section, they got cut up bananas with like this red sauce on it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're like mocking white people with that, and white people don't even know. They're like, oh, you want banana with red sauce? Look, they don't know what is going on. They're eating it just like
culture don't know nothing.
Oh, stupid white boy! They don't know nothing. They're a round eye.
All he do is tip $2. Oh, I tip $2.
We're gonna slice his banana.
Put red banana in my mouth.
Yeah.
Those split half red bananas are bigger than my penis.
Yeah, and white ladies, when they want to be vengeful, they just get pregnant on purpose and give you herpes or AIDS. You know.
So I had that story with one of my exes about her purposely getting pregnant, basically, and then she wanted an abortion without asking my permission. And that was that. Darkness. Women do that. But it's kind of a blessing that I don't have another child walking around there.
Yeah, it'd probably look like Franklin the turtle anyway.
Well,
yeah, it wouldn't look good.
I don't know. It would just suck all my genes and become normal.
We would hope so. I
think all of our kids turned out normal somehow.
Yeah.
Like our family lineage somehow. There's a few Uggs here and there, but 99% I would say they're all normal looking. Just get a few. Yeah.
I think that there has to be that anyway.
That balance. And it's like a thing. It's like they know you're going to have too many kids, so you just have a couple bad ones thrown in there.
Oh.
And there's been some weird combinations.
I can't.
What if I give you a taste of what... We're planning a big episode. That's a big news announcement. Big news announcement is we plan on moving the studio probably beginning of July.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a lot quieter. The setting will be a little bit darker around with the lights, so it'll be cooler ambience. And then I'm building a sign for us.
We're going to have a lot more stuff to look at.
Yeah. And I got a shelving unit that I'm either going to put up here just to hold my whiskey, or if he's got room, maybe I'll throw it there and we'll still put the whiskey on it. It can be a good background.
Or we could just put fake whiskey in empty bottles and it'll look like the whiskey.
Yeah.
Just, they won't know.
Piss in the bottles.
Yeah, they won't know. They'll think it's real.
Yeah. And then when guests come over, we'll give them all the whiskey they want.
Mm-hmm. And eventually here, it's getting close. I'm going to have a human skull to eat food out of. And I really hope, I really hope that I have enough people to watch me do it, because it's been one of my lifelong dreams. I almost bought it, but I'm going on a vacation soon, and I was like, I got to save my money for the vacation. So after the vacation, I will have a human skull that I'm going to eat cereal out of. That's going to be great. Right now I have the arm bone. I've got the jawbone. I've got clavicles. I play the drums with the clavicles. I've got a jar full of teeth, human teeth. One day I'm going to have a whole body made out of bones. And it's going to be so great. Oh.
I just want to, maybe, because it's not going to have it'd be cool if a jawbone had like a bottom. Then when you can just pull it out and have like kind of like a little bowl there, you can like drink some.
You know what I should do? I should get some bones and make a spoon out of bones, and then eat cereal with a bone spoon.
Like fingers,
a
bunch of phalanges, and put them together.
Yeah,
and make like a spoon out of it.
Yeah,
and then the bottom could be like, I don't know, some kind of bone in there.
It's gonna be
maybe
good.
A kneecap, a patellar.
A patellar, yeah.
All right, yeah. I'll let everyone see what's going on. I've been collecting whiskeys, just drinking some of them, but we got some good stuff here. It's a Middle West bourbon whiskey, spirits. That's one thing, and we've got some full proof 1792. Full proof, that means it's strongy. It's a strongy. Some Bowman Brothers Pioneer Spirit. Ooh. You can hear that. That's delicious. This one's really good. Smooth. Light. Corner Creek. Nice little bottle. A little picture of that. And you guys know. Seen before. We still have the Eagle Rare. I haven't drank it. I've been a good boy.
What's a good boy?
Once we get to it, it'll probably taste even stronger. Redwood Empire. I've had one of them, but this is the Lost Monarch. It's a blend of straight whiskeys from California.
I got your Redwood right here, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Get a little Redwood up in there. And I got this one. This is a nice one. Stella Marai. Very delicious.
Shake it. Let's see the bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See how it just dissipates instantly. It's a nice whiskey. We'll see. I'll read that. It's 116.24 proof.
The whiskey grabs the bubbles and it just puts it in a headlock and goes shh, 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 shh.
It doesn't really say a whole lot on there, but I can't remember. I'd have to refresh my memory as to, but yeah, that's what we got going on. So we got 7 whiskeys there. I have my Evan Williams. And, yeah, so we're planning, once we make the move, we're going to do a live episode at the new place. It's going to be crazy, and these whiskeys are going to be a big part of that. We're going to we still want to try to get a guest.
Yeah, I know we can have a guest. We've got a few available ones. We've got the Joe Monger. We've got the Jim, if we wanted to.
Oh yeah,
he's you know
that'd be a weird guest.
Yeah, but
who knows?
He's one of our biggest fans.
Get him a little fucked up. He might tell a story straight.
Who else do we have? We got a Dave. It'd be funny to tell Dave that we want him to come for the interview, and then when he gets there at the end of the interview, just lock him up in the room, and then be like, "This is the hole.
You followed it." Yeah, it'd be too hard to get Dave here. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Some bad stuff going on in his life. Not good. It ain't health-wise. It's just shit.
Well, if that doesn't happen, which I would rather that happen, but if it don't happen, then we could always find some other.
We get Dave's brother Phil. Get him in here. He's not working right now because he's on medical leave for who knows how long. Because he's just so much of an alcoholic that he nearly killed himself. And so instead of giving it up, he decided to up the ante to vodka, and then. So he'd be a good one to lock in a room.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting sober, motherfucker.
We have to make the hole way smaller.
Oh, yeah, way smaller. And then we just smack him around, and we piss in there every couple of hours. It's like a big piss hole at the top. We just piss all over. How do you like that? That's what it's like being drunk. Pissing all over yourself, huh?
We get drunk while we're doing it. We look at him like this.
There's a little grate, and we just pour a little bit of vodka through the grate.
And when he's talking to us, we look at him like this.
Yeah. One eye almost shut. Uncle Creepy. Yeah. There's a lot of funny ones. I even thought, since we're right by there, it's a possibility, and it'd be a fun one just to get Big Steve.
Oh, Big Steve. He's got lots of good stories.
Yeah.
He's got lots of good stories. And he's big.
Mm-hmm.
I like to sing it to him. I like to say, Big Steves are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 Steves. Everybody's looking for something. Yeah. I sing that to him sometimes. He likes it. Makes him purr.
Remember they had that, when we all worked together, they had the video of the guy slapping the body, so Steve used to always try to slap me.
Yeah.
To make that, whatever that video was.
Yeah, Steve's got some good stories, too, about his younger days.
The old Big Steve. I haven't seen him in a while.
He's doing good. He's driving a big boy truck. He drives a big boy truck, and he's got a big old big boy beard.
He's got to have the beard.
Yeah, he's got a big old big boy trucker beard, and he's letting his hair get curly. He's got some curly hairs like that. And girls always are like, "Hey, Big Steve." And he's like, "What up?" And they're like, "You sexy."
You're sexy,
like,
big man.
He's like, "Girl, I'm married. You can't be talking to me like that." Girl, you can't be talking
I've
like
already
that.
had my black coffee for the day.
Yeah. I look like a white Suge Knight, but you can't have none of this. I look like a white Rick Ross.
Right.
You ain't gonna get none of this white Rick Ross today.
I may look white on the outside, but I got a black dick underneath these pants.
Yeah, you want to see a black dick on a white man?
The blacker the dick, the sweeter the cum.
Yep, that's exactly that, Big Steve. He goes, you want a Burt Bratwurst?
Steve has an old trick. It's called the Steve the Stretcher.
Oh yeah, he does the stretcher.
He puts his fingers in your mouth, stretches your mouth out.
I'm 6'2", 6'3", somewhere around there. Big Steve's even bigger than me, and he weighs probably 100 pounds more than me. And he goes up behind people, and he takes his fingers and he hooks them in like this, and he just leans back and he lifts them up by their mouth. And then when they get back, he lets go of their mouth, like
lips are all sore.
And their mouth looks like Steven Tyler's mouth.
Sweet dream.
When he first started at our job, when we worked together, Joe Monger messed with him a little bit too much, and Big Steve wasn't having it, and he threatened to give him a stretching, and Joe thought
Joe didn't believe it. He thought
he could karate him.
Yeah, Joe has a special ability. If you come up behind him, he does a backwards karate kick with cowboy boots.
Yeah, but Big Steve wasn't having it. Big Steve was like, whatcha, whatcha! And Joe only has one eye, and his one eye was just going, woo! And I felt so bad for that Joe stiff, but he handled it good. He knew after that.
He cried on the inside a little bit.
But it's okay. It all worked out.
Yeah, Big Steve missed some of the good antics before that, like the cupcakes and things like that. But eventually he got around.
One of our best things we ever did, though, was we had this... our boss had a nephew that was kind of a mercy hire. He was there just because he was worthless and he couldn't get a job anywhere else. Pretty much anybody at any job has seen a critter before. Yeah. It's when you have a relative of one of the bigger, higher up people in there, and it's because they're pathetic and they can't do anything. Well, that's what Critter was. He was a scrawny little guy, weaselly, and liked to start trouble, and was worthless and just basically was annoying. And so we'd always threaten to do things to him, and he wouldn't ever stop. So one day we had a plan that we had devised where Nanner had some hot sauce called Dave's Insanity Hot Sauce, and it was really, really hot. If you even had a drop of it on your food, it would burn my mouth anyway really bad. And for some reason, before this ever happened, we had incidents where we would find the sauce everywhere throughout the warehouse or the building of this place. It'd be on people's clothes, it'd be on people's hands, it'd just find itself everywhere.
Drinks.
Yeah, like it was like some kind of symbiote, like trying to get...
But me, personally, I just put it on like the whole bread of my sandwich and ate my sandwiches.
He loves it. But so one day we devised a plan to get Critter with it. So we all trapped him, and Big Steve put him in a headlock and held him like this while I held his arms down, and Nanner held his mouth open and poured hot sauce in his mouth. And it was so hot, he ran outside. It was wintertime, and he took a snowball and shoved it in his mouth and held it there while he cried. And then we all laughed and pointed at him. And then after he... after that, he ran in the bathroom and locked himself in. And there was a vent that went from the bathroom to the warehouse, and we took a hose and we put it through the vent, and we started pouring water down in there to get him to come out. It was awesome. And then he cried and said he was going to get us in trouble, but it never happened. We had another
sauce, but
were you
the
there?
Original plan was supposed to be I had Rolos. And I took the Rolo and cut it out, and I took the caramel out of the Rolo, and I was just going to have them eat the Rolo.
Yeah.
And that was the original, and it didn't work, so that's why we had to hold them down.
Yeah. Then, but I don't think you were there for this idea. I think you were gone by this point. But we had these really big coolers that people would fish with, and they had the big door would open, but on the big door there was a little door, so you could just reach in and grab a beer. And in these coolers, you could fit a whole body in there if it was small enough. And we had this plan where we were going to put Critter inside the cooler and then hold it shut. And then Big Steve was going to open up that little door and fart inside there. we called it the Chamber of Doom. And we had it all planned out. We had it ready, and we kept threatening him with it. We kept hinting that we were alluding to that we were going to put him in the Chamber of Doom. But before we could do it, he quit because he could sense the impending doom, because he knew that we were ruthless. We would do all types of things.
Could put him in a bucket and set him on a 6-foot cabinet.
Yep. Tell him not to fucking say a thing, or else we're gonna fucking rip his neck open.
Yeah.
His uncle literally walked in the room that he was in and never noticed him. And he knew that if he had made a peep, that it'd be over.
Yeah, we used to do the West Side Story where
we go
follow people around the warehouse. They didn't know what we were up to, but we're about to do something mischievous.
Yep.
Attack them. We had one guy there that every time you tried to attack him, he would fart on you.
Oh, yeah.
Dan.
It was his only defense.
He just had farts ready on
He
command.
would chamber them until he knew he had to go out
He
to
knew
the warehouse.
something was going to happen, so he would wait all day to fart.
He
just to
chambered
come out
them.
there.
Oh, man. The best things we ever did, though, were to tie you.
Oh, yeah.
He was a mentally handicapped African Congolese man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he wasn't as disabled as he played on to be.
No.
But we liked to take advantage of the fact that he played along with a lot of the things we did. And one of my favorite things we ever did to him is there was a secret panel on the floor of the warehouse, and you could fit a whole person in there, and it was filled with garbage and cobwebs and whatever else you could think of, probably mouse shit.
It's like a metal plate, but it's got a little small, like 3-inch hole on top.
For you to reach your hand through. And we told him if he didn't leave us alone, we were going to put him in that pit. And he wouldn't stop bothering us, so we grabbed him, and I lifted up the thing, and Nanner threw him inside the pit, and then we started pushing him with our feet to get him in there, and he's begging us, "No, please don't put me in there, please don't put me in." And then all around the corner, Joe Monger, One-Eyed Joe, sees us, and he goes, "What are you doing? You can't put him in there."
And this was probably like 2 weeks after he'd been working there or something.
Yeah, and he stopped us from doing it, but it was still fun.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of things that probably would be on the news now. We'd probably
You couldn't do any of that stuff.
We'd be blacklisted.
Or if there was a woman that
canceled
in the warehouse, you could do any of that.
Yeah.
There was lots of hiding places, a big warehouse, lots of boxes, big huge boxes, and just rooms, and shit in there, scratching deck cabinets, washing machines, dishwashers, microwaves, all kinds. So there's a billion places to hide anywhere. You can come up with a way to hide. Racks and toe kicks.
It was basically a child's dream.
Yeah.
Like you could.
And there were conveyor belts that went up to the second floor.
And this place probably should have been condemned, but it wasn't. And like, there's just random stuff everywhere, and you could pretty much do whatever you wanted, and nobody would ever see you do it.
There was like a hole upstairs in the roof. You could just jump out the window onto the roof. Mm-hmm. And there was But anyways, what I was saying is there were days when I would hide in a spot just to scare somebody, and I'd be there for like an hour and never see anybody. And you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got their asses today." And then you just hide there and nobody'd ever walk by. You'd be like, "God damn it."
I just loved it when Scott would find your hiding spots. Oh, yeah. Like we had all these brand new fridges. They would all be like we would stock them, for we had certain fridges on
doors around.
And we had like all these fridges in a big circle, and it looked like there was more of them than there was, but it was just they were spread out, and in the middle was a chair. And then you said, and Scott, our boss,
goddamn chair.
Scott would be like, "Where's Fat Lady?" He called him Nanner Fat Lady. He goes, "Where Fat Lady at?" And he's looking for me like, "Fat Lady! Fat Lady!" And then he goes up to the fridges, and he's like, "Look at that. Where's that?" And he moved the fridges, and he looks, and there's a chair, and then there's food wrappers, and like maybe an empty pop can. And he's like, "What the hell is this? No!" No!
Can't have cats in here. God damn it.
Then Nanner also made another one where we had some steps that went down like this, and he put boards and stuff on the other side of the steps, so it was kind of like a little house. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't see it underneath the steps unless you went to one side of the steps. And he would hide back there. There was a chair. And one time, I was hiding back there, but I wasn't hiding from Scott. I was hiding from someone else. And
tie you or something.
Yeah, and Scott was on vacation, and I was sitting back there, and all of a sudden I heard scuffling, like, and I'm like, "What's that? That can't be Scott. He's on vacation." And all of a sudden I see underneath the steps, right in front of me, I could see his feet pointing at me. He goes, "Who's in there?" He's kicking the steps. "Who in there?" And I go, "It's me." He goes, "Come out of there." So I come out. He goes, "Why are you hiding from me, huh?" And I go, "I'm not hiding from you. I'm hiding from Tayu." And he goes, "Where Tayu at?" And I go, "I don't know." And he goes, "Hurry up, grab these before they come." And I had to grab some stuff that he came to pick up and help him so he could get out before Taiyu came.
Yeah, he had this little buddy trailer. He would just pull in with his trailer and do all kinds of shit.
This is my big boy trailer.
I'm gonna build all this stuff and I'm gonna put it in a trailer.
Yeah. Don't touch!
God damn it,
Joe! I told you, don't touch my big boy trailer.
Before we can build this stuff.
Oh,
God damn it!
Did my big boy trailer.
Guys get together in a little circle jerk and jerk off your ladybug dick.
Yeah, you guys always get in a big circle jerk and you touch each other and jerk off a ladybug dick.
Come up with the weirdest things to say. I never made
Next time you leave your truck running like that, you're going to be sucking on my tailgate. Do you remember that one? Were you there when he did that?
I don't know.
Oh,
it's hard to remember.
Big Steve backed his truck up. He had just started working there, and he backed the truck in the pit. And he didn't know. He wasn't thinking, and it was cold out. He didn't want the truck to get cold, so he left the truck running. And all the fumes were coming into the warehouse.
I think I was there.
And Scott came running into the warehouse. He goes, "Oh, turn the truck off!" So they go turn the truck. Who leave the truck on? Big Steve goes, "I left it on." He goes, "Next time you leave that truck running like that, you're going to be sucking on my tailgate." And I know he meant
tailpipe.
I know he meant tailpipe, but he said tailgate. You're going to be sucking on my tailgate. Who the fuck is that?
It's nobody. It's dumb.
It's Big Linda. Don't answer it.
Oh, shit. Oh, that was you.
Oh.
I want to know why I have the worst luck in the world when it comes to vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
My last car, everywhere I brought it, I couldn't fix it. I tried to do it myself. The dealership fixed it, and shortly thereafter, it didn't work. And then another place tried to fix it. They tried to fix it, and nobody could fix it, so I just had to get rid of it. Pretty much brand new car. And now I got a shitty car that I basically sold that for pennies on the dollar to get this car, and took out money that we didn't need to take out, like $4,000, and get this piece of shit. And now I had all these problems. It's got a whole bunch of other problems now. It's at the dealership. It's been there for almost a week, and they've replaced the part twice, and it still doesn't work. Now they're working on the other part, but every time they get the kits in to fix it, like they're missing something that they need to fix it. So it's been days and days and days and days. And even the dealership can't fix a fucking car from the dealership.
It's because they want you to get frustrated and be like, "Oh, I guess what do I do?" And they're like, "Well, you could trade it in, and we'll give you $1,000 trade-in credit
$1,000
for this."
No, I want Kelly Blue Book. I want $9,000.
And they'll go.
The market's up right now. I want 22 G's.
And then they'll go. For only $25,000, we can give you this truck. This 2008 truck that's got only 250,000 miles on it.
Yeah, it's rated to go to 350.
With a 14% APR.
Mm-hmm. That's the good thing. At least I got a good credit union. So if I need the money, I just go there and get it cheapy. Cheapy ear.
Yeah, not me, though. I always got to do it the old-fashioned way. I got to go down Burton and Division there and suck off a bunch of guys. Whoa. Yeah, every time. Damn it. Whenever because I'm the opposite. I just drive really cheap cars that last, maybe a year, and then it takes a shit, and then I don't prepare for it. I don't save money for it, so then I got to go down to Burton and Division, and then I got to suck off a bunch of guys for probably $50 a pop.
Yeah, 50.
I probably get I don't know, $500 by the end of the day before my stomach gets full of cum, and then I'm just like, all right, this is good enough. I gotta go to the hospital. They gotta pump my stomach, get all the cum out, and then
It's not just cum; it's drug cum. So you also got drugs in there, so you're high and loopy.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And then I got the $500, and then I scrap the car, or if I'm lucky, I get maybe $200 for it if scrap's price is okay. So I got $700, and that's what I use to get the newer car, the next car anyway. But a lot of times, they're wanting like around 1,000 for it, and I talk them down to like maybe 900, but then that's still $200 I don't have, so then I got to suck their dick to get that discount, and that for $200 you got to do more than just suck their dick. You got to like reach around and finger their butthole a little bit and stuff.
It's always, mechanics are always sweaty.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. And
then every time, if it's a mechanic, every time they get off, they go, brick!
Yeah.
Brick!
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of you people listening have the same issue as me. It's just not cool, man. So hopefully, I'm hoping like within the next year and a half, my credit will be good enough to where like I can get a car that's not at Car Shitty, and my payments would be low enough. But until then, I'm just gonna be sucking dicks until then. And I mean, I'm not gay, but it's the millennium.
Yeah, nothing's gay anymore.
No, 50,
it's called queer now.
Yeah, $50 is $50. Hey, man, if it'll get me down the road, I'll take a shot in the mouth.
Yeah,
it'll
get you where you gotta go.
Yeah,
that's just how it works. The rules of the road.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get you where you're going.
Yep.
Gotta follow the rules of the road. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
To it. That's what you gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Nike? Why do you think they got a swoosh? Let's do it. How do you think they did it?
They did it the old Kamala way. The old Kamala Harris way!
And they got the old swoosh. Swoosh.
Yeah. If you ever just get in a little randy in public, you take your shirt and you put your hand under there like this and you conceal it and you kind of do this like that. But you got to have glasses underneath your shirt too, like this. And then you do it. And then if anybody calls you out on it, and be like, "What? What are you talking about? I was just wiping my glasses," like that. And if you got some spooge on your glasses, just act like that's glasses cleaner and just rub it in. It'll get all smeared up right then, but they won't notice.
Or you can be like me, and then you just like. And they're like, "What are you doing in there?" Like, I'm just trying to get my whiskey bottle out.
Yeah. There's a lot of tricks to enjoying yourself in public.
If trying to get that out. If you want to do it, usually the fists are harder. You want the little the pints.
Yeah, and for me, I need the one shooter.
Mm-hmm.
To make it believable,
It works the best when you're on like the very back of a bus.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's looking back, wondering what the hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just like, "Oh, sorry, I just
if you're
sat down. The whiskey bottle is hurting my belly."
Now, if you're mad at somebody and you work in a really loud place like a factory, and you're across from them, you can be like, "I fucking hate you. I just want to fucking jerk off all over your face." And then they'll be like, "Dude, did you just say you want to jerk off all over my face?" And be like, "No, dude, I said I just want to play some dice." And they'll be like,
shooting dice with you. And prove a point that I'm so good.
I just missed shooting dice. And they'll be like, "Oh, yeah." And you could do this too, where you go, "Just want to fucking jerk it off like this," and they'll be like, "Oh, sick, what are you doing?" Be like, "I'm just grinding pepper, man. I'm just. Is that enough? Is that enough pepper for you?" There's lots of different ways to get around things. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to enjoy yourself and cover it up so people don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. It'd be funny, though, just to have an actual piece of meat underneath. You just pull it out.
I'm just pulling my meat.
Just pulling my meat raw. So I own a sandwich shop down the road, and I got to shave this beef. And you pull a little mandolin out, too. You're like, "See, I just shaved that beef."
It'd be funny, because, like, okay, so, I can't remember where or when it happened, but it happened a while ago where this guy got the police called on him because he said he was going to blow the bathroom up.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? It'd be funny to do something like that, but instead
blow it up.
Have like a piece of meat or some steak or something and be like, "I'm going to go in here and beat my meat." And then just go in there, and then somebody calls the police or whatever on you. They're like, "Come out of there." And you come out and you're like, "What's wrong?" And they're like, "We heard you were in here doing
lewd acts
and be like, I was just in here beating my meat. I don't have time to do it when I get home, so I do it on the way home from work. So when I get there, it's nice and tender.
Yeah.
I beat my meat every day.
Yeah. I always have to take a shit at 3 o'clock every day.
And
I just pull over and I beat my meat right here.
and then they're like, oh, and then right when they're doing that, be like, yeah, and because I really have no time, I jerk off while I'm doing it too.
You're like, as soon as I'm done beating the meat, I beat my meat.
No, you don't. You just say bluntly, I just jerk off too.
Yeah, I just pull my pud. I'm slinging ropes in here.
It'd be just funny to do that with anything, like
like
you could be in your yard or something, and then make it look like you're spying on the neighbor, and then the cops come. They're like, "We heard that there was a peeping Tom over here." And be like, "I'm not a peeping Tom. I live right over here. I was just gardening." They're like, "Oh, you're just gardening?" "Yeah, I was just gardening while I masturbated while that person was there."
I just prefer jerking off outside. I don't know what it is. The warm air, sunshine. It's just the best place to do it. And I don't have to worry about cleanup. I just spray it all over the lawn. Plants, the tomatoes are looking real nice this year.
We heard that there was some indecent exposure happening here. What? No.
Oh.
I was just jerking off.
Just normal routine pulling to my dick.
Everybody does it.
Ripping on my flanger.
We heard somebody over here had taken some some motor oil and put it on the handle of a hammer and was shoving it up their ass while they jerked off. Oh, sick. No, I was using olive oil. Not motor oil. Oh.
What am I, a creep?
Oh. We heard you were using AutoZone brand 5W30 oil to lubricate that hammer, that handle of the hammer to go up your ass. Oh, sick! I don't use that. I use Napa brand 10W30.
I get the real light stuff. It's 0W30, 020. The viscosity is just so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are gross though, man. I remember I was reading about how this lady got caught masturbating. She's a real fat lady, and she was caught masturbating in a Walmart bathroom stall with a tube of sausage, like not like the solid sausage. It was like the tube that, like the Bob Evans sausage.
Open it up and then squeeze the raw sausage.
She was masturbating with it, and they were knocking on the door. And they're like, "Ma'am," and she's like, "Oh, wait a minute," and they're like, "Ma'am, you got to come out. This is the police." And she's like, "Almost there." And they're like, she's like, "I just gotta finish. This is some spicy sausage."
She's like, "This is my summer sausage."
People are gross, man. Then
I like it Italian.
I was reading about this lady that shoved a whole Cornish hen up her vajayjay, and then she sewed it shut because she had some kind of disability where, like, she was obsessed with being pregnant. And then she went to the doctor and was saying that she was having pregnancy problems, and she thought she was going in labor. So they looked down there, and it was all fucking nasty and pussy and gross. So they cut it all open, and she had a rotting Cornish hen up in her vajayjay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. People are gross. People are gross.
People are nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still seeing... never mind. I ain't even going to bring that up yet. We'll save that for the 10th episode live!
Ooh, cliffhanger. Yeah, I've been obsessed with watching... I hate TikTok.
Oh, the Johnny Depp trial?
No.
Oh,
I don't really care about that, but... No, I don't care about none of that shit. They're just rich, famous people, and they deserve whatever they get. They put themselves in that situation. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, no, I don't really like TikToks. I don't understand how people can sit there and... But I did get bit by the TikTok bug.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I just found out that there's these TikToks of like crackheads.
Oh yeah, dark TikToks.
Yeah,
that's all I get.
Dark TikToks.
Yeah.
And now
you got to change your algorithm so you only like videos that are fucked up.
Yeah.
And then eventually you get better videos.
I had to meet Nanner at the studio today, and he had some business he had to take care of. So I was sitting in my car for an hour and a half, and it just flew by like I time traveled because I was just watching TikToks of like crackheads doing crazy stuff. I'm not shitting you. Like crackheads, like have superpowers. They can do anything. They can sing good. They have no teeth. They can do magic tricks. They can do acrobatics. They can build things I've never even comprehended. This one crackhead built some kind of thing that looked like something mixed from a Dr. Seuss book and a Mad Max movie, where it was like this vehicle made out of shopping carts and those little buggies that you ride at the store. Those little carts, that electric carts, and he was having it be pulled by pit bulls, and he had one of the pit bulls up in one of the carts with him, and he's going yeah, and he's steering it with that thing, he's steering it with the electric cart, and that's how he's steering it. But he's got like all these carts, and there's stuff in all the carts. Then this other crackhead, he had made like a train out of carts and electric carts, and it was a whole train. There was like 8 carts, and they all had different ones had animals in them, and other ones had like stuff he was scrapping and everything. And he was crossing the street from on the sidewalk, and all the cars were stopped like it was a train, and they're just sitting there like it's normal, waiting for it to go through. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Crackheads are like their own thing. Like then there's ones that look like the nurses from Silent Hill, where they just go like this, and they'll be in a group. Yeah, and they're in a group of them, and some of them they're like all the way back down.
They look like they're talking to each other, but they're not.
Yeah, and like some of them are back all the way down, and their heads touching the ground, and they're just stuck like that. And then some of them are leaning on things, and some of them are laying down, and they're shaped like a U, and they're pointing like this. I seen one crackhead passing to something to nobody that was there. He's like, he's doing this, and I'm like, what the hell? The only thing I've ever done in person to a crackhead is I paid a crackhead $5 to climb up a light post in the middle of the night, and there was a giant moth. It was like the size of a bat. Like it was huge. It was, I don't remember how big. I was kind of drunk off Colt 45s, and anyway, I paid this crackhead climb up there $5, and I told him to eat it, and he did. He climbed up this huge, like 40-foot tall electrical post, phone post thing, and I saw this thing fluttering. I'm like, there's no way he's going to catch this and not fall. He's got one hand, he's holding onto the hook, and he's got his other hand, and he's like, I gotta get it. Oh, I gotta get it, and he grabs it, and I see the silhouette of him in the light, and I just see him. I was laughing so hard, tears were coming out of my eyes. Ooh, almost knocked something down. And yeah, that was the only time I ever had a personal experience with a crackhead. But I'm convinced now that crackheads are supernatural and they have powers.
Silhouette, when you look, and their muscles are like,
dude, like they could have no teeth. They could have no teeth, but they'll be ripped. They'll be cut, and like they'll just
be like eating normal shit.
They can they should hire crackheads for like saving people's lives and like doing like pulling people out of fires and they like that time when those kids were stuck in that underwater cave, remember? And they had like that one Japanese
tried to have like a submarine going.
And they even that one guy like ex-marine or whatever like volunteered to get him, and he died. All they needed to do was pay a couple crackheads to go down there, and they would have did it. It would have happened. They wouldn't have needed nothing either.
$45 a piece.
They wouldn't have needed any kind of scuba gear or nothing. They would have just been like
slither down there.
I don't know.
There'd just be kids popping out of the water.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like, I'm impressed. I can't stop watching. Probably when I get out of work today, or not out of work, but out of the show, and I go home, I'm going to be watching these videos again. I'm not getting any sleep tonight. Between the videos and that testy thing I got to do for the sleep apnea, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
I'm crackheads. I need to hire some crackheads.
That's like almost or just as addicting as those videos, but those aren't. They don't put them on TikToks or anything because they're too bad. But I like seeing videos of people getting hit by buses and falling off things and stuff. But they censor all that stuff, so you got to go on like sites for that are mainly for that.
I still like I'm mesmerized for no reason. Still, of Britney Spears' videos where she just has an outfit on and she just stands there for 5 minutes and does this. I'm like, I don't know why I'm still watching this. This is awful. She just does this all day, and you're like, I don't know why I'm watching. And I always see him like, oh.
Is something going to happen?
That's it?
Yeah, you're like waiting for something to happen because you think that like there's no way that's it, and you're like waiting for it because you're hoping it's good, and then nothing.
She's crazy.
You just wasted. Uh-oh, I hear some noises.
Shh. There may be editing, but probably not. Probably not. They're going to try to be quiet, but I doubt they'll be quiet. Oh, you're fighting before the end of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Pretty good. The whiskey's not that great.
The feeling you get from it's good, though, right?
Okay.
There's a liquor store right by my house I go to probably every day, and because I'm somewhat of an alcoholic, and for some reason, like you got the desk, the counter, like okay, the counter's right here where the people stand, and then right here behind on the other side of the counter, like not where they stand, right here where the customer stands is right here, right there. There's a fucking one of those coin pusher things, the quarter pushers.
Yeah.
So you're in
there, and there's always somebody standing there.
There's someone in the way. Like literally your ass is almost touching the ass of the person that's playing the quarter game, and every time you come there, there's somebody there, and they're obsessed with the quarter machine. They act like, and all there is there, and there's some quarters. There's a couple like $2 bills in there, which I didn't even know still existed, and then they'll have like Amazon cards. And at one time I was in there, and this guy was flipping out. He's like, I know this is rigged. I came in here earlier today and I almost got the Amazon card and it was at the edge and I left and I rode all the way back home so I could get more quarters because you wouldn't give me any more quarters. And I got back here and the card is moved. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in there, and there's still 6 cards, but that one is moved. You moved it back after I was gone. You rigged it. This is a ripoff. And the guy behind the counter, his name's Pete, he's just like, I don't touch the thing. I don't have a key to get in there. I don't know what you're talking about. I hate that machine. Don't come in here again. I don't like you. And the guy, he's like, you don't ever buy nothing from here. You just come in here and you play the game. You shake the thing and the quarters fall down and you play with those quarters. You don't even pay. And then they're yelling and I'm just standing there like, I just want my rum. And then down around, this is crazy too. So you go all the way down to the end of the liquor store, where there's coolers. Then around the corner from the coolers, you can't see behind there from the counter. There's 2 slot machines, like the digital ones.
Oh yeah, well they gotta hide them because now they're cracking down on those.
Oh really?
Inside store slot machines.
Oh, I didn't even know that. And so the whole time, like, you're trying to keep an eye on everybody in there, and it's just fucking like drunks and crackheads and shit coming in there. And then there could be somebody standing back there and you don't even know. So the whole time Pete's like, okay, you just want Sailor Jerry today, and okay, let me get the... And then he'll stop and then he'll just look over there because he's like paranoid. And I'm like, dude, why don't you put a camera pointing that way? I was like, yeah, I told them to put the camera there. And I'm like, you want me to check to see if there's someone over there? No, that's okay. That's fine. It's okay. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Why are you... And one time I went over there to get Dr. Pepper because it's right by there, and some dude's just asleep there, leaning on it. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, what can we do to attract more crackheads? Let's see. Okay, we'll put 2 slot machines and a quarter machine right where the customers stand to pay. And let's also put one of those cryptocurrency ATMs that nobody knows how to use in here. Yes.
Crypto. We definitely talked about cryptocurrency. It's a no-no.
Yes. Very no-no.
No-no.
Hi.
I'm gonna take all your money.
Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Little Taco Boy. Those are my tortillas.
My tortilla. I can't do my Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Bruce Willis can't talk anymore.
I know. That's right. That's one. He can't talk. Well, they said they gave it some stupid medical name.
You know what? I mean, I like Bruce Willis.
Nothing.
I don't really have a personal opinion about who he is as a person. He could be a real asshole. I don't get that vibe from him, but he could be. But
he's still friends with his kids' mom.
Yeah, and he's friends with Ashton Kutcher and all that. So, you know, he's probably not that bad a guy, but I don't really have much sympathy for celebrities in general. But, I mean, he really could have something real serious wrong with him, but I almost in the back of my head, I wonder if it's not that bad, and he's just like, I can't have people hear me talk like this anymore, or whatever, and he's just like, I'm just done. I'm just done doing it. I'm not going to do movies anymore, because he doesn't want to have that problem. You know, kind of like Michael J. Fox with movies and stuff, where, like, he's got this issue, and, like, what if he can really talk and stuff, and he just has, like, a little issue, you know, like, where he mixes words up sometimes or something, you know?
Well, from what I heard anyways, it's just a term they use for anything that haven't completely diagnosed him. It's basically dementia is what it is, early onset dementia.
Oh, okay, because they made it sound from one of the article I read that he couldn't understand language anymore, and he couldn't speak language. Like, he didn't know, he couldn't understand what people were saying, even though he could hear them.
Because I heard that he was on a movie set, and they had to have an earpiece in his ear on some shitty movie he was doing. And they had to tell him his lines through there, and that's the only way he could remember because he couldn't read the lines anymore. So it's something to do with that, but it's basically dementia, just they're not calling it dementia yet. It's like early onset dementia or something. That's basically what the story is, I think. Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean...
Which happens, he's like 65 or something.
It's like a curse, I feel like, with certain actors where, like, they're like their body's like, okay, we can't let them end acting on a good note. We have to have it on a shitty movie, like with
Val Kilmer,
or Sean Connery. Like, all right, lone gunman. Right after this, we're gonna strike. like
I cannot do it.
I can't act anymore. I'm just getting too old now. I'm just too old.
I was James Bond.
Or like, what was that guy's name?
You know the movie?
He's in a lot of movies, but I don't know the movie. I can't remember the name of the movie that was crappy, but he was in Enemy of the State, and he was in, he's the old guy. He was in, Gene Hackman.
Oh, Gene
Hackman. Gene Hackman. The last movie he was in was really shitty, and I think the same with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
He was in a shitty movie before he ended. The last movie I remember that was great was The Departed, and I feel like he should have just left there. And then he was just like, I'm going to do this shitty movie, then I'm just going to go to basketball games and spill chili everywhere.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson's really old, though. He deserves to die gracefully.
If he wants to die while spilling chili, he can.
Mm-hmm. He's been in some of the best movies and some of the worst movies. Like Wolf.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth!
Yeah. That's why I tell Booba all the time, he can't handle the truths.
That's why he go hide and he does...
But Wolf, when they didn't do any special effects for the makeup for the werewolf, he just had like a little extra hair on his face and contacts in.
And they gave him teeth that way right here.
Yeah, teeth on the bottom.
Yeah. I've seen
James Spader.
I've seen pieces of that movie, but I've never watched it because it was boring. The other day when I was like doing artwork and stuff, I had my Alexa thing that has the screen, and I was like, Alexa, go to Tubi TV, and it was like, these are your choices. These are your new horror movies that are in, and I was like, Wolf. All right, let's watch it. And I turned it on, and I couldn't even get past the opening part of the movie. I was like,
hits a stupid wolf on the road.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh, what happened?
I was just like, no, can't watch it. I was like, no. Yeah. I was like, Alexa, no. Alexa, go to Tubi TV, and then I was like,
do you hear that on camera? My neck went,
I didn't hear anything.
My shoulder and my neck are fucked up.
And then I was like, Alexa, go to Tubi TV, and then I was like, play Toxic Avenger by Lloyd Kaufman, and then I was happy. Even though it's a really shitty B movie, it makes me happy.
Yeah, some B movies are worth watching. Other ones are just awful.
Have you ever seen Poultrygeist?
I've seen it. I didn't watch it,
though. Oh, you got to watch that one. It's hilarious.
Did you ever see the Zombievers?
No, is that good?
Yeah, I like that.
I love movies like that, you know.
The Zombievers. They like get everywhere, and they're like all super powerful, and they just break down shit. Like,
yeah, most of the Traumaville movies are good. The trauma movies with Lloyd Kaufman, those are all pretty good. And then, I don't know.
Oh, that was a good one. What was it called? I think called The Sand.
Oh,
Did you see that one?
I wanted to watch it, but I never did. It's on Tubi.
It's awful, but it's funny awful.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
I like the movie Slither a lot.
Yeah, Slither was great.
And it's funny because they have a homage to Toxic Avenger.
Is Michael Rooker in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have they pay homage to Toxic Avenger in that movie. It's like a little Easter egg where
they're in the bathtub or whatever. Is that the part?
The hot tub.
Or hot
tub,
he's
visiting this trailer park chick because he wants to get a little strange, and because his wife won't bang him, and so he's going to visit this chick he used to know in high school to get a little strange. And while she's talking to him, in the background, the TV's playing Toxic Avenger, and it's the scene where Melvin's dunking his mop inside the hot tub with the mean guys, with Bozo and the slug or whatever. And I was like, oh! Because I grew up watching Toxic Avenger and all that. I rented that movie from Family Video when I was a kid, and I never returned it. I kept it.
When your mom's like, why is my late fees $236?
No, luckily it was because it was right when they got divorced.
Oh.
When I kept it. And so we just never went back to that Family Video. And it was just mine.
Like I said, I think I may have even told the story here before, but a long time ago, I lived with my dad, and I had the Super Nintendo, and my favorite game of all time back then was Street Fighter 2, and so I rented Street Fighter 2. I think I rented a couple others, maybe Super Metroid. Not Super Metroid, I think it was the original Metroid then. I don't remember, but I rented some games, and that one was on that. And then I had some game, I don't even remember which one it was now. Some shitty, could have been Mortal Kombat, because I really didn't give a shit about Mortal Kombat, but that was the first game. One of the first games I had. But anyways, when it was time to return them, I just put the game I didn't like in the box, and I sent it off. And I kept Street Fighter. We went to that place even after that.
Yeah.
They didn't even notice. I just got free Street Fighter.
I remember when Super Nintendo came over, your brother was staying with us for a while, and he didn't have a TV, and I had a TV in my room, so he hooked up the Super Nintendo in my room, and I thought it was awesome. We had he had Street Fighter 2, he had
it's probably my Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, either way, and it had Star Fox, and
yeah, I had that.
There's a couple other games, but anyway,
it was my Super Nintendo.
Anyway, he left and moved out or whatever, and he left it there, and I thought like he left it for me, and I'm like, yeah, this is mine, and I don't remember how long it was because time's so different when you're a kid, but it seemed like it had been a long time. And I just got used to it being in my room. And then one day he must have came over and got it. And when I got home, it was gone. And I was like devastated. I was like, And I never got another Super Nintendo after that until I was an adult. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get another system. I had the regular Nintendo, then briefly the Super Nintendo, and then went straight to the Nintendo 64 after that. And
That's what my brother did all the time. Like when I got hit by a motorcycle when I was a kid, I got money for the insurance, but I'm sure my mom took most of that money. I think she gave me like $150, and so I didn't have my bike anymore because the motorcycle destroyed it. And so Don had this Predator bike, is like a trick bike. It was worth a lot of money back then, but he needed money, so he sold it to me for like $75. And then so I took that bike, and then when I moved to my dad's, old friends of his there like stripped the bike and welded shitty bike parts on top of it and fucked my bike up, my nice expensive bike. And then but with the Super Nintendo, he borrowed my Super Nintendo, and he's like, I'll just borrow it for a while. He's like, here, have these clothes. I know you like these clothes. And he gave me this like blue shorts and blue shirt outfit that he had that I liked, and I thought it was cool because it was his and my older brother.
mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, I look like my older brother now.
Yeah.
And I think I got a picture of me with those clothes on somewhere. And he's like, and then he takes it, but he's supposed to give it back to me. And then he was with his second oldest son's mom at the time when they split up. He just left it there, and she got my fucking Super Nintendo. So that's probably what happened. He's probably living with you. And he went and moved with her, left the Super Nintendo there after they broke up, something along those lines. And I lost all my Super Nintendo shit for a stupid, probably $20 outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was funny back then. I remember I was playing with my friend down the road from our house, and he didn't live with us at the time, but I don't know why he was walking. I don't know if he got dropped off or what, but I remember distinctly watching him come from somewhere, walking down the road, and he had a vacuum cleaner. And it was, do you remember that vacuum cleaner we had where it was silver and it looked like a...
Kirby?
Maybe. It was just the thing, and then it had the hose, and then it had the thing. Like, it wasn't regular, like a regular Kirby. Yeah. It was like a fancy, like, it looked like it was from the 50s. It was like, it was just the vacuum part, and then a hose came out of it, and then it had the rest of the vacuum. Yeah. Anyway, he's carrying this thing, and he's like, got a suit on, and he's probably, so I was like 10, so he was probably like 21, 22, and he's carrying it. It's the middle of summer, and he's got like a briefcase, and he's got this vacuum, and he's walking down, I'm like, Don! Because I loved him because he was bigger, than me. I looked up to him, so I'm like, Donald! And he's like, hey, what's going on, bud? And I'm like, nothing, what are you doing? He's like, is your mom and is Aunt Nancy and Uncle Bob home? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm going to go talk to him. And he sold them. He sold them that vacuum or one of them vacuums or whatever. And it was like, I was talking to my mom about it. Like
$1,400.
Yeah, it was like a lot of money. It was probably the only vacuum he ever sold.
But I will say that those old Kirby vacuums, I don't know about that particular one, but those old Kirby ones did last fucking forever.
It did. It was a good vacuum. I mean, my dad probably ruined it. But, I mean, it was...
Remember, my dad had one for like 20 years.
Yeah.
The same one that he bought.
Yeah.
Like everybody had one. All the poor people had them because rich people didn't buy those vacuums. Rich people bought rich people vacuums.
Uh-huh.
Poor people wanted to be fancy, and they thought they were buying a rich person vacuum.
Yeah.
And so they'd be like, "Oh, it's only $1,400. I think I can figure that out." And my wife, she can just vacuum all the time now. Stay out of my business.
Yeah, business.
Stay the fuck out of my business. You know what happened to the good old days though, when you could just slap a bitch, be like, "Ta-ta!" You're like, "What? I asked for fucking food tonight, and you're a little late. I'm hungry." Yeah. I came home. I know I said I'd be home at 9, and I showed up at 9:30, but I expected that hot plate to be on there, and it was cold when I got here.
Yeah. I just miss the days when I could just be sitting in my lazy boy like this, and then I could go, babe.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this?
Like, huh?
And then I'll be like,
"What do you mean? It's empty. I see that."
And I go,
"No,
you can't. Can you see now? Can you see now?"
She'd be like, "It's empty, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, so what do you do about that? She'd be like, well, I'm sorry to say this, but we're completely out of Mountain Dew. In order to get more Mountain Dew, I have to drive all the way to town and just get a Mountain Dew. And he'd be like, and? She'd be like, he'd be like, I'm fucking thirsty, bitch.
You just want me to drink water?
You want me to drink fucking water? What am I, some poor fuck?
You want me to work? You want me
slave my ass off all day, every day, 7 days a week for your ass not to get me a fucking cold, ice cold Mountain Dew?
Yeah. And then she'll be like, I think we have Sprite. I'm like, damn it, woman! You just made me have to get out of my chair.
You're done it now. Get out of my chair. You know the news comes on at 9:15.
And then you hear, and then you look over there, and she's going like this with the ketchup, trying to get it out. You're like, you better get all that ketchup out on my burger. I don't want to hear it.
You're like, but the food liner closes at 9 o'clock. It's already closed. Closest store that stays open only stays open till 11, and that's all the way in Shabshanall.
That's a piece down the road.
Shabshanall it is. Sorry to see you go.
I can't remember if we talked about it before.
And then she gets the keys to go in the car. You're like, what are you doing? That's my motherfucking car.
I'm not going to let no woman drive my car.
No woman ain't driving my car.
Yeah. Better get on that.
You better get that Schwinn out there.
Yeah. Except for it's not really a Schwinn, it's a Huffy.
Yeah. It's a Schwiffy. Get that Schwiffy.
Get that Schwiffy, boy. I don't remember if I talked about it before, but our grandpa, I know you didn't really know him. I didn't know him that good, but I talked to him, a couple times. Yeah. He's one thing I did learn from that man out of anything was that when a hillbilly says that something is down the road a piece, it could be miles and miles and miles. It could be 1,000 miles. If someone tells you down south that something's down the road a piece, that could be anywhere. So next time you talking to a hillbilly and they're like, "What? If you want to
get a ride, just down a piece right there."
Yeah, don't listen because you have to have more specifics than that.
You know where's the closest Walmart to here? Oh, it's not that far. Right down a piece right there.
Yep, my mom and I went to visit him. It was one of the last times we saw him, and he was really into beer. And it was hot out, and my mom wanted to make him happy because she didn't see him very much. So he said, my grandpa would call my mom sis. And he'd go, "Boy, sis, what sounds real good on a hot day like this is a nice cold beer." And she was like, "Oh, well, go. Do you have any beer? I'll go get you some." And he goes, "Oh, no, Conway, Arkansas is a dry county, but sis." And she's like, "Well, where's the closest place to get beer?" And he goes, "Oh, it's just down the road a piece." And she goes, "Well, let's go get in the van and I'll drive you down and we'll get you a big case so you don't have to worry about it for a while." It's like, "Oh, I'd really appreciate that, sis." So we all pile in the car and we're driving down the road. Next thing I know, it's been an hour and a half and we're still not there. Finally, after about an hour and 40 minutes, we get to not a store, but a little gas station in the middle of nowhere. And that's the closest place there was with beer. So we were gone for over 3 hours just to get beer for my grandpa. That was nice. That was one of the last times I saw my grandpa.
When I saw him last, he came and stayed with us for like a week. And we had Mel's Salt Store just up the road, and they sold everything. So he would go there and get him little pints of shitty-ass whatever he drank, probably whiskey or something.
Canadian Mist.
Canadian Mist, or who knows what it was. Probably some like Copper Mills or something. Just made up names.
Yeah.
Back then, who knows? I don't remember, but he'd always be fucked up.
He didn't have no teeth. Well, he had fake teeth, but he wouldn't wear them. And he had these things called cracklins. They're like pig pork rinds, but they're harder. Mm. And he's eating them, and he's doing this, and his face is going up and down, and I'm going like this. I go like this. I go. like that, and he goes, what's the matter, boy? You like seeing my chin touch my nose? You think it's funny? And I'm laughing like that. Then that same day, my mom took us to KFC, and down in Arkansas, they had a buffet in KFC, and you could get different things that you can't get up here, and one of the things was corn on the cob. And I got corn on the cob, and I didn't realize I didn't get nothing to put on it, like butter or salt or nothing. So we're sitting in the car, and I have it, and I'm just, I just kind of set it aside. I was going to throw it away. And my grandpa goes, you going to eat that? I go, no, and I didn't say anything. He goes, I can eat that. I go, oh, all right. And I'm waiting to see him eat it because I don't know how he's going to, because it's corn on the cob and he don't have any teeth. I shit you not. I lost my attention to it for a brief time. And when I remembered and I wanted to go back to look, it was gone. He ate all the corn off the cob with no teeth. How did he do it?
Puts his little gums real close together.
I got tough gums. Yeah. Boy, don't you underestimate these gums. I got tough gums.
You just hear whistling like a tornado's coming. It's just he's sucking it.
Yeah.
It's the calm before the storm.
Yep. He was an interesting old man.
Mm-hmm. Old weird Native Americans. And the old, his mama would be there sitting in her chair with her tobacco, spitting in her spit cup.
Ding! Ding! Oh, did I ever tell you that story about when it tipped over?
I think you did, yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm traumatized by it. I'll never forget it. My great-grandma had a spittoon because she did snuff. And this thing was all the way filled to the brim, and I remember watching it jiggle when it was sitting on the end table next to my great-grandma. She'd sit there, and she was blind, and she'd sit there, and she'd spit it in there, and every time I'd watch this thing, and it would just
it's right at the edge.
Jiggle like that, and my sister, I was about 8 years old, and my sister was 3, and my sister's just running around like a 3-year-old normally does, barefoot. Next thing I know, she trips and falls and knocks over the end table, and the spittoon goes boo, and I just remember it in slow motion. You ever see Dennis the Menace with Walter Matthau,
yeah.
And the paint's going through the air when he shoots it out and it goes on the stake? That's how it was in my head, where it's like through the air, and it lands on my sister's feet. Ooh. And her toes are going like this, and it's all slipping and sliding between her toes. It was disgusting.
That's days and days of disgusting warm spit out in the middle of fucking Arkansas.
If that had been me, like, I'm traumatized just from witnessing it. If that had been me, if that had happened to me, at 8 years old, I probably would have killed myself. At 8, I probably would have been one of the first 8-year-olds in Arkansas to commit suicide.
Death. Yeah, Arkansas was a crazy place back then.
There's nothing interesting in Arkansas. If you have any interest in going to Arkansas, just don't go. There's literally nothing there unless you like seeing lots of hobos and hillbillies and
train tracks.
You like humidity.
Fields.
You like humidity and Waffle Houses.
Mm-hmm.
Piggly Wigglies.
Like Shoney's back in the day.
Yeah. There's literally...
We're going to go to Shoney's.
You can't... Go on your phone. Shoney's. Go on your phone right now. Go on Google and Google fun things to do in Little Rock, Arkansas. There's going to be a glue... There's going to be a glue store. Well, we have a lot of nice glues you can huff.
It's probably like a big ball of yarn somewhere.
Well...
or something. Plymouth Rock. You ever seen a rock? It was a big rock back in 1750. But now it's just a regular old rock.
You can come visit the original Walmart.
Yeah. Bentonville, Arkansas, you can see Walmart.
You can
see
come.
How it all started.
You can come visit Bill Clinton's childhood home.
Mm-hmm. Bill Clinton was the governor in Arkansas.
You can
he
see
really did a lot there. Like getting blowjobs from Linda Tripp.
You can even see the tree that in his backyard that he sexually assaulted.
Yeah. How we got to start. This big old hole in this maple tree. There's a little grimy. There's a little bit of sap in there.
There was moss growing all around the perimeter.
Yeah.
It looked like this.
That's where he got his taste for the old vagina. He was like, I'm never doing a butthole now. Got a perfectly good mossy vagina.
This is way better than cats.
A little sappy. I don't do no Vermont maple. This is down south sweet.
When it gets in my pee hole, it stings. Sometimes it makes my pee hole stick together and I pee in a V.
That's the only reason I learned how to play the sax, so I could blow the sting out of my pee.
Yeah, so don't go there. That's not fun. My mom actually is mad at your mom because she won't go with her there. I think she keeps saying it to me, so I'll volunteer to go with her. She'll be like, yeah, your Aunt Dara doesn't want to go to Arkansas with me, and I really want to visit your Uncle Vinny and your Aunt Sandra. And I'm like, She's like, yeah, I don't want to drive there alone. And I'm like, And she's like, yeah, your Aunt Dara just don't want to go because she doesn't like Rachel. And I'm like, who's Rachel? She's like Sandra's daughter or something like that. And I'm like, well, why don't you guys just stay at a hotel and just have them come visit you? Your Aunt Dara doesn't want to do that. She said she doesn't want to do that. Like, Yeah, she said she'll only go if we rent a car. Why do we have to rent a car when I have a nice car? And I don't understand that. I'm like,
We're not going anywhere if it's raining out. It's raining.
Yeah.
You gotta stop.
I'm not going to Arkansas. I'm sorry.
And you know, when you go down south, there's at least 3 days of the trip. Well, you know, going there and back. There's going to be a rain so hard that you'd never witnessed that in your entire life.
Oh, yeah. Last time we went, it rained so hard we had to stop at a Cracker Barrel and eat because it was like tornado weather.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, there's nowhere you can look. It's just so much rain that everything's gone. It's worse than the whiteout and the snow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Couldn't see anything. We had to resort to going to Cracker Barrel. We're sitting there eating, watching outside, and the sky's
some shitty grits.
Yeah, the sky's yellow on one side, and then black on the other side, and then rain's pouring down, and you just look around you, and there's just old people looking out the window, going, "It's raining outside. I'll rain.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm sure I'll have one more cup of coffee. Just give me one more cup of coffee. Yeah. I've only been here since 8 a.m. this morning.
There's a lot of rain out there.
It's not 3 p.m. right now. I just one more cup of coffee in here.
Yeah. Give me some preparation H too. Give me some of that preparation H.
And then once I'm done, I'm gonna walk around a little store on the inside and look at all the little wooden sleds. We got some damn.
I got a granddaughter. My granddaughter would like one of those ornaments with her name on it. I think she would like that.
Little box of chocolates with a reindeer head.
There's a triangle with plastic pegs in it.
You can play the game.
You know who would like that? My grandson, little David, he would like that. He would like that triangle with the little pegs.
$9. Yeah. I'll find him something else.
Grandparents are funny or old people in general, because, like, say you're young and they ask you what you want for your birthday, so you're going to ask for, like, a video game, or you're going to ask for some
video
toy.
Game?
You're going to ask for something like that, okay? Then they're going to look at it and they're going to think it's expensive. They're like, oh, that's expensive. I don't know. Damn. So then what do? Instead, they go find something you absolutely don't want and spend the same amount of money on that that you're never going to use. It never fails. It happens every time. It never failed. My grandma, I asked her for Ninja Turtles. I was like, I want Ninja Turtles. What does she do? She gets me Power Ranger toys. I was too old to like Power Rangers, and they were just as expensive. And she's like, "Oh, Power Rangers, they're really good role models, and stuff like that, and I'm like, you don't know who told you this. Where did you get
Never
this
watched Power Rangers.
Where did you get this information from? You could have spent that money on something I like. Mm-hmm. Why did you do that?
From my grandparents, I never really got anything. I don't think I ever got anything from that grandma. Ever. Christmas-wise or anything. But my other grandma, they didn't have a lot of money, and my papa that just died, and she would, I think I told this story too, but every year she'd give me a letter after Christmas, like a day after Christmas, she'd bring me a letter, or envelope, and then it would have $10 in it, and she'd be like, don't tell nobody, you got this.
You're my favorite.
I'd be like, okay, Grandma.
We're going to eat later on. We're going to eat cornbread together. Yeah. It's going to be our secret.
She did have fire cornbread. That can never be repeated again.
Our grandma, the other, like the one we share, that grandma, I'll never forget. She never once ever, not that I care, but she never once got me a birthday present, never once got me a Christmas present, never sent me a birthday card, nothing. And whenever she'd come visit, we'd be talking, and she'd be like, oh, yeah, I got my grandkids this for Christmas last year, and I got my grandkids this, and she'd be talking about her grandkids, and I'm thinking to myself, like,
I'm your grandkid.
I'm your grandkid. Don't you know that? And she'd be like, yeah, oh, they were really happy. Last year I don't even know their names. They're cousins we never even met before.
Ophelia and Taco.
I don't know, but she'd be like, I got little Johnny a CD player, and he was so happy. He would really wanted a CD player, and I got little Jenny a new system, a game system, and I'd be like, 15 or something, and I'd just be like, wow. I mean, I don't care now, but back then when you're a kid, you're like, I'm your fucking grandkid. What are you saying this to me for?
You're not Mexican enough.
That's like me having kids and then moving away and leaving some of the kids with the mom, and then me coming back every year or something to visit and be like, yeah, I bought my kids. And telling my other kids, like, I bought my kids a new car, and I bought my kids a PlayStation 2 or whatever.
I like kids. I like my kids.
Yeah, I love my kids. I'm proud of them. You should meet them.
Yeah, you should
meet my kids. I'm proud of them. They're smart. They're the smartest kids I've ever had. I named this one Ryan Jr. He's my first kid. They're like, but I'm your first kid. Oh. That's like Big Steve. I think it's funny because his dad's name is Steve. His dad's name is got the same name as him. Full thing. And Steve's the youngest out of all of them, and the oldest son doesn't have his name. Like the full
Illinois Steve.
Yeah. And
doesn't have it all. Yeah.
So it's just funny because he's like, this one doesn't deserve my name. And then he's got another son. No, that one doesn't deserve my name. This one's the one. Third time's a charm.
This is Steve Cleveland Jr. right here. My junior.
This is the one.
I can tell it.
He's got the mark.
What was the other family name we used to laugh about all the time?
Charney?
Was it? No, not Charney. It was the Clevelands, but it was their other name, like the other side of the family, I think.
Kennedy?
Is it Kennedy?
Well, I don't think so.
It doesn't sound right. I don't know. We used to make fun of somebody at work at Standard. Can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I don't remember.
But we did make fun of Charney for sure.
Charney.
My name's Bridget. Charney.
Sorry, Bridget Charney, if you're watching this.
Yeah, you're still cool. You're fine.
But yeah, it's just a funny name.
Yeah, I got a funny last name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it, though.
It rhymes with your ringtone.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. But, my name rhymes with Dijon mustard.
Mm-hmm. Some names are just funny.
Mm-hmm.
Dijon mustard. You want to eat a Dijon? Huh? All you got to do is go to my Facebook and find it.
Oh, play with my
it's right
fuzzy.
on there.
Play.
You just click on the link and it does that. Everybody needs to click on a link. You'll see nobody does that. You just go right down. There's
we're probably
right down here. You like and then subscribe. I think it's over here.
We're probably demonetized.
Well, probably. Who knows? But nobody like, nobody subscribe, nobody comment.
Yeah.
I did get a funny comment on the last video. It was like, I'm coming for you. And it was from a random person. It didn't say their name or nothing. It was like just a random, I'm coming for you. And I commented back, and it wouldn't even let my comment post back. And it wasn't even a bad comment. I can't remember what I even said.
I'm so tired of that, man.
I know.
I don't know.
The internet's fucked up.
I've never had Twitter before.
Oh, Elon Musk did buy Twitter.
Yeah,
though.
I've never had it before. I'm hoping, though, that he does make it better.
Well, Twitter's been fine. The problem really is Facebook and Instagram. They ban the shit out of people. And Twitter is bad, but it's more like political type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook can do anything, and Twitter also does that too, where all you have to do is someone would like misgender somebody and they ban them for life.
But
like, how do I misgender?
Well, I've
said this before.
I know that Elon did reverse all that.
Mm-hmm.
But to counteract that, Joe Biden is trying to make a team that's like legally allowed to interfere with that. Like, it's called the
Coalition
disinformation
Twitter tanglers.
No, they're called the
Twitter.
They're called the something of disinformation team or something. And he's making this team to where like legally they can control the shit that's on his thing.
Exactly. So what they're doing is taking a private company, which that's the debate, is whether it's a private company or not, and they're trying to turn it not private. Because if it's a private company, you can't do that. But if it's not private and the government's involved, then it's now no longer a private company.
It's just all Nazi crap. It's all like that book 1984.
Yeah.
Good book.
George Orwell.
Yeah. It's basically that's what's happening right now. That
it was like a goofified version of like society coming up with different like cultures.
Yeah.
Like,
V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Shit. Like that's what's going on right now. But yeah, hopefully Elon's
the smartest person in the world, so he should be able to figure out how to make things better.
Yeah.
Or you got Mark Zuckerberg, he's trying to make things worse.
Yeah.
Or we're going to have to, where he's literally talking people into buying like properties that don't exist.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg goes...
it's a game.
Mark Zuckerberg goes underground and he has sex orgies with
fake things.
Bill Gates and Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is in there. Bill Gates is in there. I've seen it. Mark Zuckerberg's in there. And there's a few other ones in there. I can't remember. But anyway,
Jeff Bezos.
They all have this big orgy. They're like, and they're evil.
Mm-hmm.
Why hasn't anybody gotten in trouble yet for being on that Epstein list?
Because they're not going to. They're too powerful. What are you going to do? I mean, if you release that information, literally half of the world just disappears, and a lot of it's like the Democrats. So if the Democrats are in power right now, they're not. Nothing's going to happen to Democrats.
I just imagine like the one good cop that
kicked Prince Andrew out of the fucking club.
Yeah, I just imagine like the one good cop that's interrogating what's her name, Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, and he's like, he gets it and he goes up to the big wig police or department or whatever. He's like, "Sir, you're never gonna believe this, sir. Look at this. I've got the complete list. I've got the complete list." And he's like, "Really? Let me see this. We're gonna take these people down." And they sees his name on there, and he's like, I can't see this. Let me get a lighter so I can see it better. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
That happened right away.
Well, I can get her to say it again.
Because they have proof. They said that there were cameras all over the house. And they went and there was a vault and it had all the tapes and the FBI raided that. And then all of a sudden, they just disappeared from the record. All the tapes. So it's obvious. It's all true. It's always, I've become a fan of somebody lately. I mean, I was always a fan of him, but his name's Adam Carolla, and he's got a show, a podcast too. But me and Adam Carolla, for some reason, are like synergistic. Like we think the same. It's weird. We come from totally different areas. He was born and raised in California. I'm born and raised in Michigan. And things that I think, like I think I've said that on the show too, is about shit I never heard of. And I've just been listening to his podcast just for the past, 6 months or something. And I talk shit. One of my main things I focus on is like a rich guy like DJ Khaled that literally does nothing for his entire life. Mm-hmm. He goes to the Oscars, like the Oscars are just going, and he just pops out and he does his thing, stupid. And he goes out and he doesn't do anything, but someone had called him to go interrupt the Oscars, do that stupid bit that was stupid, and come out like he's famous and do this, like he makes all this money, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't sing, he doesn't rap, he doesn't actually do any music anymore. He doesn't do anything. He's just fat as fuck.
He's just, I'm DJ Khaled.
It's
just like an orgasmo. We're just like, what do you have to bring to...
I'm Sancho.
Yeah, I am Sancho. But
are you Sancho?
Yeah. No, you are not Sancho. It's the same thing. He's like, I am DJ Khaled.
I'm DJ Khaled.
Are you DJ Khaled? No. I am DJ Khaled. You're DJ Khaled. Yes.
I am.
You're hired.
You say DJ Khaled, I say DJ Khaled.
Next time, every time you say DJ Khaled, you pay me $50.
Adam Carolla is the only other person I've ever heard in my entire life that said the exact same fucking thing as me. So it's like a kinship relationship type thing like that. But it's hilarious. Just, what were we even talking about? What was?
We were talking about how corrupted people were. Yeah, the tapes and stuff.
The tapes. Yeah, but you got I don't know where I was going. Totally lost.
One thing that's just crazy to me. Okay, that just doesn't make sense to me. It's got to be something deeper that these people have, like it can't be just physical attraction to like these young girls. There's got to be like some other deeper reason in their mind psychologically why it needs to be these girls. And I'm just like, why can't you just, you're literally rich and famous and powerful. Why don't you can get any adult woman. Mm-hmm. Why does it have to be a underaged innocent girl? Like, it's got to be some kind of evil satanic thing or something, like they have to be pure, they have never touched another man, they have to be innocent, I need innocent hands touching me. Like, and when you think about it in that aspect, it's just like, what else do they practice? Like, that's got to be just like a off branch of whatever they believe in, like in like their society. So like, it makes you wonder what else other creepy weird shit they do.
Just like, I think this is where I was going, was that powerful people become powerful for a certain reason. Like, I consider myself a pretty intelligent person, but because I feel certain ways about certain things, like, you just can't get ahead. But there's certain people that just don't have certain feelings at all, and it just makes them get ahead in life, and they can treat people any way they want, and then just normal life just doesn't apply to them. So when especially when you're born rich and famous, and you grow up, and you're a politician or whatever, and you're always powerful, and you just always get the job, like someone like Nancy Pelosi or something, even though she's not nothing to do with this. But I'm just saying, like, people just stay in power forever, and everything's invincible to them. So how do you get a thrill when you're invincible? The only thrills you can have is by doing something that's a little riskier, and you got to do all this different stuff. But what happens is not only just, it's the reason why nobody gets in trouble for any of this stuff is because it's not just the rich person that's doing all this stuff, but he's got a network of people. So he's got lawyers, he's got people that drive his car, people that do all this stuff. So he's got this network of people, and when you go down the list, all these is going to fuck up so many lives along the way because all these people were complicit in following them to this. So it fucks up all these lies. Down the line, people who weren't even a part of it, but kind of knew something weird was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's such a big thing all over, and all these rich people, because it's not just Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell's father was involved in all this shit too, internationally in a different country, big fucking mogul of newspapers and shit in Europe and all that. And then on top of that, you got the guy Peter Nygaard from Canada, who was the fucking Walmart king of the world. He made fucking clothing for like Walmarts and shit. And he's the richest person. He had his own fucking Epstein Island. And he's dealing with that right now. And just imagine if you got that many fucking people all over the world that are doing that shit. It's just so big. Like, what can you do? So that's how you get, like, when you have, like he's talking about, you got that list. I got the list looking down. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, that's my grandma.
Yeah,
oh,
shit. Yeah. Cousin Tony. Uncle Ray, fuck. And you're like, I can't let this list out. Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
Shit, the list is fucking disappeared. Fuck. And it's gonna happen because there's so many people connected that it's just impossible to get everybody in trouble. And so you got people like Clinton that has a history of fucking younger girls. Gonna get away with it. Never gonna have a problem. And who knows? Maybe fucking Hillary runs for president again. Who knows? And maybe she wins next time. If she hires, instead of just hiring Beyonce and Jay-Z, maybe she gets Ariana Grande, she gets fucking
Justin
Pete
Bieber.
Davidson, Justin Bieber, fucking all the Kardashians, all of them together this time. And everybody's just like, I gotta vote for the person that will let me see Kim Kardashian's fake ass in person. Like, that's just how the world works.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I think that, I mean, maybe it's just a chemical imbalance in my brain. I don't know. But, like, I just think it's crazy how, like, sex, like, almost everything we do in our lives as a human is, like, based around sex. Like, you want to have nice things so women like you or men like you, so you'll have sex, they'll have sex with you, and then you have family and whatever too, and you build a family. But it's all like based on like all this power and everything is like sex. And for me, I don't think that way. It's just not the way
we're similar. Like, I feel bad. I think that's why many of my relationships over time haven't worked. And it's not because, I'm a nice person. I purposely go nice because I mean, I consider myself a sociopath, unfortunately, and we talk about it. People dying, who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
We don't care about any of that. Cannibalism, all that. If it came down to cannibalism, I'd be one of the first people to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't be like, why would I eat the meat? Maybe I wouldn't eat brains or something gross, but if I'm fucking starving and I need to eat, I got to get on top of that, and I got to make sure the survival of my family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm not gonna fucking, see, I'm already losing my point.
Oh, the whole sex thing. Like, for me.
Yeah, sex. I'm just, but sex-wise, I like sex. Everybody likes sex. But I'm the most boring sex person there is. There's not some weird fucking crazy kink where I'm like, I gotta put it in your mouth and then put it in your butt and then come on the back of your shoulders.
Well, yeah, but that plus, like, you think about, like, murders and, like, all these crime shows and stuff, a lot of it is
sex-based.
Sex-based or, like, cheating and stuff, based on cheating and wanting to leave.
Either sex, money,
or
or some kind of fucking, sex, money, and secrets of some sort.
My brain doesn't operate like that. It's more like, I think I don't know for sure, but it's more like, I hate people so much. And like, it's pleasureful, like sex is pleasureful for me, but at the same time, it's like, you have to try to please that person too. And it's just like, for me, I know it sounds selfish, but it's just like, I don't like the thought of having to please somebody. Like, feeling like that's work for me. And it's just like if they could just have sex with me and I could not have to do anything, and like I don't have to worry about how they're feeling from it, it sounds more enjoyable for me. But still, even with that, it's just like, like if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it's not a big deal. I can enjoy other things, you know. I don't ever feel like I could ever be like, "Oh, I swear to God, if anybody ever cheats on me, I'll kill him. I'll kill the guy who sleeps with them." Or like,
yeah, that's what I brought up a bunch of times. It's you know,
I don't. My
if
brain.
you're gonna cheat on me, there's just certain elements to that. Like the cheating itself is just, you know, it doesn't bother me at all. If you want to cheat, that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you don't want to be with me. So goodbye.
Yeah.
See ya.
I'm not gonna waste my time.
I don't have to worry about it. Like when I was younger, things were weirder like that, where I'd get mad and I'd be calling people on the phone. Oh, the fuck! I found condoms here. Blah blah blah. Some shit like that. And it's like now I'd be like, all right, just talk to you later. I guess I'm getting a blowjob from somebody else tonight.
Well, back, you know, I was similar at one time, but when I thought about it, and I don't know, this is like a self-realization I had with myself not long ago too, and I think this is why my relationships don't work really well, is for the longest time I had like a pride issue, and when I did get upset about someone not liking me anymore and liking someone else or leaving me for someone else or cheating on me, it wasn't really because I had feelings for that person ever or anything, or that I was losing them. It was that I was insulted because like I
You
felt
wasted your time.
that, and plus like I
Invested.
it was like a pride.
Emotions, yeah.
It was like a more, not even emotions, but like a pride thing. It was like a pride. Like I felt like, oh, that person's better than me type deal. Like that person that they like must be better than me because they like them more. But as I got older, now I don't care what people think about me at all. Like as I've gotten older, I don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks about me. So after that, it was just like when I realized that part about me, it was like me needing to hold on to relationships didn't matter anymore, because it was just like, okay, I don't have anything to prove. I don't need to impress this girl, and because I don't need to impress them to make myself feel good, I don't need them. You know, it's just, that's the way it is.
My problem with being a sociopath is that I already feel like I'm better than everybody else, even though I don't. I think it's my situation that molds the way I am. Like, I feel like at this time in my life, if I decide to do something like this, I mold myself into a situation. So if shit sucks now, I suck. And then if shit's good, like if I didn't have any responsibility or anything, things would be good and I could do whatever the fuck I wanted, I would do it. Like if I needed to be skinny for some reason, or I needed to be, if I had a purpose, like I decided, okay, I'm going to go, just want to knock out this dude that I met out on the street. That's just what I want to do. I would figure out a way to build myself up to that point, and I would do it. And I don't have any emotion behind that particular option. Like, I'm good with, emotionally, I'm attached to family. It's basically family. So if I don't consider you family, it doesn't matter what you do. I don't care.
Yeah.
Nothing cares. You couldn't say a word to me. Couldn't do a thing to me. Could punch me in the face. And I won't even be emotional. I've been punched in the face. You just get hit and you're like...
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that.
Just think about it. You're just like, do I have to fight this person or what's going on right now?
Yeah.
A calmness around other people. It's just this weird calm that other people don't have. That I don't give one fuck about anything if I don't want to.
Yeah, I I know it sounds mean, and I hope that nobody that I dated watches this, but I've over time I've realized that like I don't think I've ever really loved any.
Yeah, don't. Jennifer's watching.
Jennifer. Oh, yeah, she can watch. But I don't think that I've ever really loved anyone I've ever dated. I might have made myself believe I loved them, but as I really thought about it, it was more that I was in love with I liked the idea of making them love me. I wanted them to prove to myself that I could make someone love me. And after I proved that, it was like I didn't really care anymore for some reason. It was like a control thing. It was more of a control. And when they would leave, I would get upset if they broke up with me, but it wasn't because I was upset that I was losing them. It was because I was losing that control. And that I was like offended and hurt because I just felt like why would they not want me? Like, I'm the best. I'm everything that they want. How could there be somebody better? That's how my mind worked. And I would act heartbroken and I would act hurt and stuff like that. But when I really thought about it, I was like, I look back at it, I never missed that person. I missed the feeling of having that person's, having control over that person. And now that I don't need that anymore, that I just don't have interest in it anymore, I just realized that I don't know.
Well, I've curtailed myself over time just because I had, I don't know, just like I said, the spirit of me is basically, like I said, I know that I already know ahead of time. If I want to be whatever I want to be, I could be that, and I'm better than everybody. I was already good at everything I ever did. I was never like great because I never worked super hard at anything. But like if I was in a relationship, all the things I did in a relationship I knew were better than what anybody else will ever do in their entire life. So, even though it hurt when I was younger, emotionally, you don't understand what's going on, but I think back to that, like my son's mom, if she watches this, she can listen and know that all the things I did for her that were extra, shit that I 100% guarantee nobody else in her entire life will ever do. Like, I just did it for me. It wasn't for her. I just knew that. I know still to this day she's never received any of that attention or any of that extra behavior or anything that she would ever get from anybody else. Maybe I'm not, top dog having sex or something, but who cares about that? What really everything is about is that when I put my time into something, you're going to get a little more from everybody, from me, than you would get from anybody else in the world. And that I can promise because that's just how I am. I just go slight extra mile. I don't get mad. I don't get angry usually. I don't fight. I don't do anything. I cook. I clean. I do all the things mostly that I need to do more than anybody else. And then, over time, sometimes, I mold myself to be lazier. It just depends on all the relationships. I do that. And it's not, I just a weird, like I said, I'm a sociopath. I can literally mold myself into any situation. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like the person that I'm with or that I like a person, but I could do anything I need to if I wanted sex. I could have sex with a fat girl. I could have sex with a skinny girl. Sex with a hot girl, an ugly girl. It doesn't really matter. Like, if that's what I want at the time, you just mold yourself to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't even know what I am.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really don't.
They got these molds, like I said.
I don't think, it frustrates me because this is what I think is frustrating, is I feel like there's too many labels for disorders, and I think that there's too much gray in between to have labels. I don't think that there's specifically, every person...
Well, we were talking about that before, how I was talking about a real serial killer.
Yeah.
Why there's no real serial killers? Because the real serial killers don't get caught.
Yeah.
And they don't get caught because, how many missing children there are all across America all the time? How many missing people? How many dead bodies they never discovered all these times? You know why that's never happened? Because there's people that are fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. I don't even think it's crazy. I think it's natural.
This is the thing, okay?
And people force themselves to be weird.
Serial killing is a term for killing more than a certain
Yeah,
amount
more
of
than
people.
3 people.
Yeah, and it's
say 3 or more.
at random. Well, so I mean, technically that's serial killer, but I know what you mean. Where like they're not doing it for just the killing; they're doing it for other purposes.
Yeah.
Where I feel like what you're trying to say is like the ones that get away, they get away with it because they literally have no care about human thought, like other than their own. They don't need acceptance or anybody to feed their ego. They don't need any acknowledgement from outside sources. They are living their own fantasy inside them, and that's their world, their own world, and they keep it to themselves because it's treasure to them.
Yeah.
And
you don't need panties or IDs
no.
or bones
and
or whatever the fuck you're gonna keep.
Anytime any of those other people get caught, it's because they need that.
Yeah, they have something that they need to fulfill.
Yeah.
That's beyond, so they need to carry something, or they need to come inside, or they're choking, or it needs to be a 16-year-old girl, or it needs to be just whatever.
There's an external source of gratitude that gratification they need that's not based around their own self, and that in my opinion is like way darker than these other serial killers that most of them are like. Those people they need power, like they do it for power over those people, and these other people, they do it because they are powerful in their mind. They've given themselves the power. They don't need it to get the power from someone else.
Yeah. It's like a mirror. It's a mirror of political power these days.
Yeah.
Because all these days, this is what's wrong with the world, is that now there's cell phones everywhere, there's cameras everywhere, there's all this stuff. So you can be caught real easy, DNA evidence, all that. So it's hard to be caught. So this is how the serial killer game has changed over these years. Is that I think that a lot of the politicians that are in power normally would have just killed people and raped people and shit like that, or found fucking black people and killed black people because they were white, or Indian people because they were against Indian people, whatever. But all these reasons that they had, they can turn it into political power, and they get the same satisfaction without having to do the kills.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of these people have this power over people, and it satisfies them in a way. But then they can't get enough, and then you got shit like today where everybody's fighting over stupid shit, like whether or not you can fucking, whether or not Mike, when you knew him when you were 13, is now Brenda.
Yeah.
And that's the fight that you go on now. And these people just, they can't process shit the right way.
I just think it's funny because nobody talks, because I don't care what anybody says. There's probably going to be people like cops or whatever. They're going to be like, I just want to save people, and that's my goal, is to save people and make the world a better place. I guarantee you, even if that's your prerogative, most of the people above you, it's just a business for them. Mm-hmm. They don't care about saving lives. It's a business. And that's why nobody ever talks about anybody who probably flies to other countries and strangles someone to death and then just comes back. Because I guarantee you, if I was rich and powerful and I felt like I needed to kill somebody to make me feel better, that's what I would do. Mm-hmm. I would just find I guarantee you there's people in other countries, just like the movie Hostel, where there are these companies where their job is to find you people that you can kill, that they can get rid of for you, and no one will ever know. And
it's a network.
Yeah. And
just like the truck drivers of America, a lot of, like the Green River Killer, he was a truck driver. Or no, I think he was a warehouse worker. He's a warehouse worker, but he drove for a company, and he just, you follow your trail every day, and you got this problem, and you follow it, and you kill along the same lines, and that's how, somehow that comes back to you. It's just a pattern. So when you got the power, and you got other people that can take care of it for you, you get away with it because you got so many people, like I said, down that list that can help you cover up stuff that you wouldn't normally get away with.
You just go, like, say you're rich and you go to, like, another country, and while you're there, you meet a couple guys that are the locals, like a tour guide or whatever, and they're all poor. They're all really poor. Mm-hmm. They, like, barely can feed their families. And you just say, hey, do you know somebody that, nobody would notice is gone? And they're like, oh, yeah. Well, if you can set it up for me, I'll pay you so your family will be set for life. And it's not even a lot of money. They're like, okay. And then you go and they probably get some other people that they subcontract to help them that they're going to split some of the money with because it's a lot of money to them. Mm-hmm. And then they have their own little group and then they set it up with you and you go kill that person and they just make it go away. And even if it did somehow leak out that you did it, nobody's going to believe it. There's not going to be enough evidence against you. Yeah. It won't even get far.
It's like a fucking, it's like throwing your underwear in the trash after you have a little shit stain. Mm-hmm. Like they could DNA evidence and figure it out over time, but why would they go that far down the road to figure out who shit their pants?
And it's not, okay, so like the point I was getting to, and I just kind of trailed off, was it's a business. And so like if I killed somebody in Africa and the African people don't know anything about it, so there's nobody coming here to like explain it, and then maybe, okay, I got a friend with me that doesn't like me anymore that knew I did that. So I come back to America and he goes to the police and he's like, Ryan went to Africa and he got this person and he killed her and buried her in the body. They're going to be like, well, that wasn't here. And they're like, if there's no, like,
why would he come all the way here and just kill that person?
Well, but like, they're not gonna get anything from it. Yeah. It's not gonna benefit them in any way to go out of their way to use their resources and invest. Yeah,
hard to figure out.
Yeah, it's not gonna benefit them at all or anything. So they're not gonna worry about it. They're not gonna care. I could literally go to another country, murder somebody, and come back here and go in the police station and be like, yeah, I went to China and murdered this person. They're not gonna do anything about it. Especially if I don't know their name or anything. I just feel like, they'd be like, what's his name? I'm like, I don't know, he's an Asian guy. What do you look like? Asian guy.
Weird eyes and small dick.
Everything, pretty much anything that...
I think you worked for the Yakuza.
Pretty much anything that people try to make virtuous in the world, there's always a scheme behind it. It's never really virtuous. It's always money. Yeah, it always has to do with money. Most people are not good people.
So money, sex, and just weird shit. Usually some kind of love triangle. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't, but most of the time, all those fucking crime shows you watch, it's 99.9% of them something to do with sex and money, and then power.
Right. For me, I literally, as I've gotten older, I don't really care about anything. I just, for the most part, I just like being alone. Like,
yeah, that's what's sad about me. Like, we know that I'm a pool player. I was a really good pool player. I played for 20 plus years since I was 13 years old. Almost 30 years. And COVID hit and we couldn't go fucking play pool. And it was lame. And then my friends just disappeared. Some of them moved away. Some of them got their own shit. I can't. Other ones just won't answer the phone. And then you get away from them. And then you're like, shit, well. Mm-hmm. And I haven't played pool hardly shit at all since. And it's like, I kind of want to go. I want to play, but I don't mind if I have all these people around me. Like,
I hate people. I really
don't give a fuck. Nobody calls me. How many people do I know that called me? Yeah. None.
I have
none. Well, one.
I have like 3 good friends. One of them's family, and I really don't care about making any more friends. I don't care about anything really. If there was, honestly, even though it would cost a lot of my, family to, and everything, to go, if there was a button right now in front of me that I could push to make myself and everything else not exist, I'd probably push it.
Well, it was the bad thing about the pandemic is I expected so many people to die, and it just wasn't that.
No, I was excited about it at first, and then when I found out the worst thing was about it that you had to wear a mask everywhere, I was pissed.
Yeah. So stupid. Like, if you're gonna have something big and it's gonna be newsworthy, it needs to kill a lot of people.
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm almost positive more people.
Well, it was.
I just want to say I'm almost positive that more people died trying to prevent COVID than actually dying from COVID.
Yeah. Well, just locking you in your house or all that stuff. Old people going back to their old folks' home.
Yeah.
All that, like
I'm pretty sure
it's like
more people died from trying to prevent it than really died from COVID.
Mm-hmm. And nowadays, like it's just been all this time. If it was such a big deal, my fat ass would have died a long time ago. I didn't do anything. What the fuck am I gonna do? I didn't take any fucking medication, get sick. I just kept working.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with a bunch of people, fucking people everywhere, different places, different cities, different towns, different buildings, all day, every day. I didn't even get nothing.
Yeah, and like me, like I told you before, I was sucking dicks every day on Burton and Division. Yeah, and I never got COVID or anything. Literally, like sucking 10, 15 dicks a day. Big ones too.
Big ones.
And
nothing. I seen some of them. I was like going to pick them up, and I was
he's kind of like my
that's
pimp.
A big dick in your mouth.
Yeah, because I told him I was like, I'm a big guy, but sometimes these guys are bigger and they want more than oral, and my asshole's not for sale. Like that's
mine.
So
that's my one one bugaboo. One bugaboo.
So Nanner here, he sits in a car and watches from afar and makes sure nothing happens. But yeah, some of them things are pretty monstrous, and never got COVID.
I tell them, I'm like, if you dare try to put it in his ass, I'm gonna put it in your ass, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna be like, wee, woo, yeah. Come on, baby. Oh, you like it? You like it? No, put it.
He goes,
oh!
He goes, you're going to give me some chung chung.
You're going to give me some chung chung.
You think this is for free?
Oh my god! Don't do it! Oh, he did it. He really fucking did it. Holy shit. Fuck. This thing. Oh shit, my camera's falling. Oh no! Oh, he really did it though. Oh fuck. I can't find the gun. Oh, fuck. Oh man. Oh shit! Fuck! He's alive! Hold on top! Boom! 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 Good night.